Hello everyone. Right, welcome to the stream again. Sorry for everything. Should work just fine now. So as we see, actually Ozone puts it on pole position on the final lap. Sorry once again everyone, so here's the final standing. Ozone Ruthless in first place, who is actually the driver to watch. WoW in second, the Inaudible Gamer in third, Besto fourth, CGC Fungus in fifth, R10 sixth, Fox seventh, Maple in eighth, Black Apollo in ninth, Ingenio 10th, Pandikoi 11th, Cosmin 62 12th, David 13th, Impact number 21 14th, Futursky 15, Hunter 16, Dark Blue DS, Yasin, and then Pixel with no time at the end. So, as we see, as we load, here's the pit strategy. Let me just show that real quick. Okay, so the pit strategy won't work. I'm trying to set that on. Hold on one sec. Okay, loop. There we go. And okay, pit strategy. Here we go. So as we see, predicted pit stop strategy is a one stop from mediums to hards in lap 13 to 16, or a two stop from softs to mediums, lap 6 to 8, and then mediums 19 to 22. So as we see, that's not too bad of a strategy. As we go back into the lobby. So, formation lap. The lap where it's nice to get all of them nerves out of the way as much as you can. So we keep into position change. There we go. So formation lap, personally, I'm not a big fan of. Every time I'm always nervous as heck upon the start. But ultimately, these drivers will have to keep their nerve. So as I already said last stream, Ruthful is the driver to watch since he's only 2 points behind WoW, I believe, who's in the lead. Or it's either Vessel or WoW. It's one of them two. So can I just get a quick confirmation in the chat that the stream is good and crispy, please? Right, so here we are. Ozone, WoW, Inaudible, Vessel, Fungus, R10, Fox, Maple, Black Apollo, Genio, Pandikoi, Cosmin 62, David, Impact, Futuristic, Hunter, Dark Blue, DS, Yasin, and Pixel ready to line up at the starting grid. Sorry for the dog barking really quickly. Don't mind that. So here we are for the Spanish Grand Prix as we see the leader make his way down the pit straight. Buzz there in the chat, thank you for letting me know. There's a little delay. Don't worry about that. That's to get the stream as crispy as possible. I like to use crispy. So right, first thing, I got my water ready. I'm ready to shout. I'm ready to commentate for the Siege Online League as we see everyone form up. So here we go for the beginning of what is to be a pretty epic Grand Prix. Is 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And it's lights out and away we go for Spanish Grand Prix. WoW gets a pretty terrible start. There's madness happening and there's contact with there's Ferrari mounting the racing point that will probably need a safety car. WoW not getting a good start at all, meaning that he caused a massive pileup in between WoW, a racing point I believe it was, and also a Alfa Romeo of Fox, who is now down into P19. As we see, it was a pretty bad start from WoW. Ozone managed to get the lead quite a bit. I'm surprised there was no safety car there, actually, if I may be completely honest with you. So Ozone now having to defend from the roaring as we see another yellow flag. If we go to the back, let's see what it is. It is no one, okay. It was just a little random yellow flag as we will go up to a battle. Is it a safety car? There's a safety car. What has happened? And that's that's the McLaren and the Renault of Pixel and R10 gone. He didn't ghost the time, and I presume R10 went straight into the back of him. That's very, very, very unfortunate indeed. But that happens though. Have to see if anyone's making their stops. This is a pretty good start from as we see. And that's Impact with a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. He's already up to 10 seconds because he caused a massive collision just before him. Impact. As we see changing that front wing. There's also half the field actually went into the pits. Or half of what's left. Okay, so as we see the majestic safety car making his way down into turn go. The racing point of Ozone is making. No, he doesn't. He manages to keep the inside line clear. And will he do an overtake around the inside? He's looking towards it. No, but he seems to be spinning left and right. Will he make a turn into? No, the safety car pulls out just ahead one more time. So I'm trying to make safety car restarts as entertaining as I can. So we'll have a safety car restart. I have no idea when the safety car will end, but it will most likely, as we see everyone coming towards the back. Everyone's pretty far away, so we should resume at lap 3. Let's quickly move this down a bit. And get this and screen. There we go. Should be a bit better now. I kind of messed up my dimensions there. Now it looks like a pixel game. Gosh. Now we got to stretch the screen and then lift you up. Oh, whoops, wrong thing. We're living and we're learning, guys. We're living and we're learning. Right, here we are. So, since this is safety car, we'll take the time to fix things that need to be fixed and things that need improvements. So, if you guys are currently watching the stream and you see something that should be changed or different with either the way I'm or either the way these people are doing, just let me know. And right. Okay. This should be the last time you guys see a black screen. So here we are. Ruthful looking pretty ruthless. Well, you see the joke. It's pretty funny. Pretty proud. Yeah, safety car is in this lap. So this is going to be a pretty interesting restart. We'll have to see if anyone gains or loses time during this safety car restart. So we see Ozone, who's banking up the field. As well as pit limiter engaged, as we can clearly see. It looks pretty much the same. The only thing that hasn't changed is, well, everyone that's in the red, everyone who's actually in the green, changed position. It's only Ingenio and Penable who hasn't changed. as we see Ruthless coming down the final corner now. And actually, there's a 5-second time penalty for severe collision with G-Fungus at the back. So as we see Ozone making in his way to turn 1 with a raging Yamaha. But as we see the Williams going for an overtake on David, manages to make the move quite well. As we'll go down the field to see if we get any more action. As there's a Haas and a Alfa Romeo going side by side to turn 1, and that's never going to work. But they Haas spinning and and there's a big pileup once again. Oh, that's terrible. That's a Red Bull who's sent into the barriers along with the Haas, Fox, and who was it? Black Apollo, I think it was, going side by side through turn 1 will never work. As we just saw that happen. So no safety cars, luckily, as we see actually move with the Red Bull of Cosmin and the Mercedes of Dark Blue going side by side into turn 8. I'm not too sure. Manages to make the move done, and that's him up into P8. And actually Dark Blue in the Mercedes losing up quite a bit, as we actually see the Toro Rosso going side by side with the Mercedes, and that's the Toro Rosso almost losing the back end completely there. Very good catch back. But actually the Alfa Romeo of DS now smells a bit of it. Manages to keep it feet, cuts that corner a bit, but you know, you need to in these circumstances. For the RS, it's just yet to see if we get any moves. Actually, we have the Red Bull going for a feisty move down the inside. It locks up with a tiny bit. The hatch driver there of Hunter keeps it nice and steady by these corners. Oh, and that's actually the Mercedes of Dark Blue, who has been spun into the gravel. Or not spun, who's actually lost me back in and has simply just went into the gravel. He might hit the barriers here. No, he won't. Actually, we see impact from the earlier crash there going into the pit stops for a new front wing and a set of, I believe it's hard combat tires, yes. So really Dark Blue and Impact getting the worst out of those starts. Really sucks for them. Let's go to the field and we see a quick train between 9th, 8th, and 7th. With 7th. Whoa, that's going back in. So Maple is actually quite close to the back of Dave as well, but we'll keep on this train real quick. So we'll get a view on Gino since he's back in the has a nice panoramic view as they through turns 12, 13, 14, and 15. Heading to turn 13, nice and cleanly there for turn 14. Getting a little bit wide, cutting and just there, turn 15. Actually, Cosmin gets a little touch of grass that might cause him a bit of time, but then again, he has medium compound tires rather than the mediums in the hard, so he might lose up just a tiny bit. But as we see Gino in overtake closing, and we might want to stay with the Red Bull of Cosmin and Hunter as we see them entering turns 1 and 2. Hunter getting a pretty bad run there through the first sector. Hunter able to, actually not Hunter, sorry. Cosmin being able to close it, actually goes really wide there, and it's allowing Gino to be within touching his distance of P8. And actually that's Hunter, who's locked up and braked quite heavily there into turn 5. So will we see a little move down the inside here in turn 7? No, we won't, luckily, because that will never go well. Turn 8, up we go into the DRS straight. So right now Hunter is in bad position right now. As we see Gino actually closing, will he go for a dive bomb on the inside? No, he doesn't. But Hunter really braking really early. Yeah, he's braking really, very confusing braking there from Hunter. He always seems to be going really slow as he enters into the first distance braking. I don't think that much. So they all go quite wide there, but Gino takes a very poor line trying to sell them down there. But actually, Cosmin loses the back end quite a bit, and it's a yellow flag, sector 2 and sector 3. Let's go towards the back end. It's actually Dark Blue once again. It was us the back end, but we don't want to lose much time as we saw DS going for a move down on Gino. They will run side by side through turn 1s and turn 2. We saw how this didn't end well last time, but will it go well this time? They both communicate quite well. They race well together, and they manage to hit each other, which is always what you want to see. So we'll go up the field and type it more. As we see Ruthless already within 4-second gap to second place. He wants to win this race. He wants to get those 2 points ahead of whoever is in second place, which I presume is not WoW, but is Wessel. And we got David, Maple, Yasin, Hunter, and Husband, Ingenio, and DS now. And actually, GC Fungus all in that mix now. As you see, Fox actually starting to close up, and Panicoy right behind them as well. So right now we have a train going on. But if we see Ingenio going down the inside, no, he doesn't. But he keeps his distance. Oh, and that's actually the Alfa Romeo of DS, as we saw in his mirrors, not slowing down the time and having to go a bit wide, as we saw Cosmic completely cutting that corner. It was probably a warning from him. Turns 13, 14, and 15 we go. Turn up the mic a bit, yeah, sure. I'll turn it right after this. Actually, though, we don't want to mix it too much. As we see DS gating. Overtake mode. Ingenio forced to leave the inside open. They'll go side by side into turn one. That's really lay there on the brakes, but he manages to keep it going. He will cut it. They touch wheels as they go side by side to turn 3. And he gets the move done there, DS. So, I'm going to alt-tab quickly, lower my game sounds. There we go. This should be good now. Right. So, hello. So we got trade with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars. 6 cars battling for P7. So Hunter taking his time. He's on the mark though, but this is actually just a yellow flag in sector 2. It's probably, oh, it's the Alfa Romeo of Fox, who has spun. We'll lower down. Whoops. I will lower down the audio volume just a tiny bit. There we go. Should be enough. Since Fox laying panic or futuristic by, which is very respectable. But we'll actually see here the Red Bull of Cosmin going for a move on Hunter. They might go side by side, but we will look behind as well. With DS going for another move on Ingenio. Oh, no, they just barely missed tires. That would have been super bad, but DS now with a 3-second time penalty for cutting that corner. So, DS, the real loser out of all that. GC Fungus is now all over the back of him. GC Fungus all over the back now. Oh, goes into the ground, but will lose him quite a bit of time there. But right now it's only a battle. Oh, when we see the hatch going really wide there on the racing point, almost touching. We'll have DRS though, and Hunter actually doesn't have DRS. So Ingenio might as well just go for a move here down the inside as we get a really poor angle. And he breaks super late, and Hunter forced to let that one by. So Ingenio now will set his sights onto P7 as we look from behind the GC Fungus using the back end there. Heading into, I believe, what is turn 12. We'll go up a bit. We'll see DS, who's going to want to get these two hard runners. Actually, that's Cosmin with a 3-second time penalty. So he is in this in the lead of this train. Ingenio does not have DRS, but Hunter does, so we will be able to catch up to Ingenio as soon as he possibly can. Actually, as we see DS going for a move on K Hunter as they almost touch wheels there on a straight. That's pretty surprising, touching each other on a straight. Hunter forced to let him by again, trying to get a switchback, but that doesn't work out too well for him. As we see GC Fungus, who is got a better run than Hunter. If Hunter going a bit wide there, we'll have to see if whether or not he'll get him. Braking later than Hunter. Hunter losing the back end a bit, as we could see up ahead. His tires are probably pleading for mercy at this point. It locks up once again. So let's look up a bit at the front to see Wessel every single lap getting closer and closer to the inaudible gamer. Who is on the medium compound tires as well. Let's go back a bit towards this battle here. Oh, we see GC Fungus going for a move on Hunter. Hunter must have lost the back end there or something, because he was quite ahead when it came to overtaking. Odd. Okay. Can't judge them. Going up the field. Oh, and that's Ingenio, who's actually lost the back end of there. And DS has managed to make it through. GC Fungus is not too far ahead. but he won't get DRS. DS actually gets DRS on a Cosmin, and who goes down the inside really easily. Oh, he's in a low fuel mix, or low ERS mix, and actually Ingenio wants to go down the inside of him as well. Cosmin in the straight to turn 1 loses 2 positions. So either Cosmin has a strategy of not refueling, of saving ERS, or he just sees that it's not worth battling these two as they're faster. But because of all that, they're now 7 seconds ahead of the top 6. Actually, as we see down here, Fox going for a move on Dark Blue really easily, actually. As you see Fox on the high and Dark Blue on the medium. Dark Blue is a pretty bad race for him, and yet he just extends that much more, loses the back end just a bit there, but manages to keep it. So Dark Blue really having a poor race right now. So we'll stay here with Ingenio, who's actually closing up on the back of DS. DS getting a pretty bad run there. Ingenio getting the better of him through turns, I believe, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There we go, turn 14, sorry. Turn 15 and turn 16. DRS, will he have DRS? Yes, he does. Cosmin is actually all over the back of the Ingenio. Or not all over the back, but he is quite close. He does have DRS. He is using it, yes. Above right. And DS has actually went to AI mode, so I don't know if he's having issues or if he just wants to keep it straight, and that will almost cause Ingenio to hit the back of him, and he does! He hits the back of him, and Cosmin now with a better run on the outside of Ingenio. Will he manage to keep the move done? No, they touch tires, and he'll force it to go wide. Ingenio in the grass, actually. I have no idea what just happened there, but Ingenio, or DS, actually went into AI mode, forcing him to slow down quite a bit. And actually, that's Dark Blue retired from the session. It was spun on the main straight. I will not be shook if there's a safety car. Yes, there is a safety car. That means that strategies are going to have to change, because people on the medium competitions might want to box now, as they won't lose any time on the people who are on hard. So we'll have to see. Does Ruthless go into the pits? Yes, he does. He'll probably box onto the hards. SOR might see this, or the Honorable Gamer might see this and see this as a retaliation, so he might want to box for hards as well. Yes, he does. Everyone follows him. Wessel as well. David Eason, we'll see if he follows as well. No, he's on the hard compound, so he'll stay out. Maple, DS, and Ingenio will most likely want to go into the pits. As we see Maple entering the pits now. DS entering the pit lane entry. Will he go in? Yes, he does. Yeah, he cuts that quite a bit. So does Cosmin. So everyone on the, actually, hold on. Ingenio on the hard compound tires actually pitting already at lap 13. Pretty interesting move. Everyone else on the hard compound tires, though, is staying out. So is Yasin with his 12 lap hards. So pretty awkward there from Ingenio. I don't know if he'll manage to keep those. Oh, okay, no, he did have front wing damage from that little tap. So he's very lucky to. DS actually on the softs. DS is on the softs. What I think he might do is go from mediums to softs to mediums again. Actually, as we see migrating a host, I'm not sure. Maple has left the session. The Maple has left. He might want to rejoin as soon as possible. I'll invite him back. Hold on. Yeah, I invited you. Invited him. His cave just crashed. Okay, right. Actually, 6 seconds behind Futuristic. So DS on the soft compound tires, he sees something that we don't. Have to see whether or not that pulls off towards the end of this Grand Prix. A little bit of water there. So as we see Maple actually getting overtaken, not overtaken, but probably did invite Maple. We'll have to see if he joins back. Okay. Hopefully he joins back because the field will be bunched. So okay, yeah, Maple is back. There he is. toe. So we see Maple on fresh hard compound tires. There is the only people that did not box is Impact 21, who's down into P14. I feel like since he's already at the very bottom and he's quite far behind, if I was him, I would have boxed mediums, try and catch up as much as possible. I do not speak Spanish, so whatever that means in chat, I will be able to comment on that. Panakoy actually, who I feel like lost out a bit. He boxed 5 laps prior to the safety car to go on the hards, but then again it was because of an accident. So Futuristic also on the same hards with alongside Hunter and Yasin, who's in the lead. So I feel like Yasin will lose out quite a bit. Ozone will should be able to make it in front, no problem. You never know. Dead inside the line. So we've currently lost 5 drivers. Safety car in this lap. Whoa, the safety car is in this lap. That was a very late call there from the FIA. Fox now stressing his butt off to try and catch up to the field as quickly as possible. As we see him running up the final corner. Yeah, okay, he should manage. So we see Yasin bunching up the field as we go for another safety car restart. Actually, in the Ferrari, who released their new 2020 camo. But anyways, that's jokes aside. Ozone actually getting a very good run on Yasin. Won't have DRS. There's already a yellow flag, and that is nothing. Okay, that was just weird. So we see Ozone, Yasin protecting the inside line, braking just that much later. And Ruthful will have to stay behind for this one. Will we see anyone actually SOR? They go side by side again. No, they don't, but they managed to just to keep it that behind. DS with his new soft compound tires will want to get in front of Maple as soon as possible. And he might go for a move down the inside. Yes, he does. Brakes really late there. Manages to get a nice tight line. And will catch up to the back of Hunter, who he was prior fighting last time. Ingenio at the back of GC Fungus on both on fresh mediums. Cosmin will be under danger, so will Maple and the rest of the field. And then DS, as we see DS all over the back there of Hunter. He will most likely have overtake mode. Rich fuel mix down the inside he goes, and he gets the move done quite easily. There's no point in really fighting that. He's on fresh soft. Might as well just leave him. But here for the first place, we'll watch a bit as we see Ruthful going all over the back of Yasin, just touching him just that tiny bit. That might be a little bit of front wing damage. We'll have to see whether or not it affects him, but it clearly doesn't seem to affect him as overtake mode and slipstream. It should be a pretty easy move, but no DRS assistance though, so it has to be power of slipstream. ERS, oh, and he goes into the grass, so that will lose him quite a bit of time, but he still goes around the outside. Then will they touch tires? They do touch tires. The Ferrari touches the tiny bit, and that will allow SOR the Honorable to find out. And that's actually, who's that? That's Maple, who's actually spun it into the wall into turn 1. So he took Impact alongside of him, but actually, as we should go back, Yasin on his old hards, losing out to both. And actually, it was very much under pressure under Vessel, who gets the move done, and they'll go side by side into this turn. This never goes well, but luckily Yasin backs out of it. He gets a bad run that will allow his teammate David to get up quite close to him. Have to see here. Okay, so DS on his soft tires will want to catch up, but then again, you do have to keep in mind the top 5 other than Yasin won't have to pit again because they're on hard compound tires. As we actually see a yellow flag in sector 2. What has happened? It's Maple again who spun. His tires already seem to be cooked at the back, and actually Cosmin loses a position to Ingenio, and now we already have the battle for 8th now between the same 3 drivers. Oh, and that's Cosmin who cuts that corner massively there. This should be a time penalty for him. And you see Ingenio closing onto the back of Hunter, but we should go up ahead as no, we shouldn't actually. We'll go back and we see Ingenio and Hunter going side by side into turn 1. Will we see Ingenio break later? Yes, he does, and Hunter leaves him by. Oh, and actually we go behind it. That's Cosmin, who spins out due to his aggressiveness. I saw that last second he went for a big boy dive bomb and stuck it on the inside. and cuts the corner even as a penalty. There's a little bit of over aggressiveness from him, and it did not pay off, sadly. The man Senna himself said, if you see a gap, go for it. But he took that to a whole new level, and it didn't really end well. So we'll see David. His DRS tries still to be brakes really late and gets the move done to Jason. It was a really nice overtake, but I'm pretty sure none of the drivers were expecting that. Not was I, nor was I at least. So Yasin, who didn't box during the safety car restart, is losing quite a bit of time now. DS, who's all over the back of these guys, but do keep in mind he's on these soft compound tires. His tires will run out roughly, I'd say, lap 21. Yasin we'll see DS overtake him most likely. Actually, no, we see Yasin on the old hard tires managing to keep quite a good distance away as we see DS going around the outside. Oh, this is a good, they tap wheels, they touch wheels, I don't know what you want to call it, but they touch, and then DS goes quite wide, and I believe he touched him as he was going by. I don't know what just happened there. But yes, and are side by side, and actually there's a yellow flag, and that's K Hunter who spun it. That's one of the one of the 10 drivers that have spun in turn 1, I'd say, at this point. Adds another collection to them. So Ozone once again extending that gap to second place, the inaudible. And Vessel is still within margin of attacking at the back. David, who is running out of ERS actually. Oh, and we see Yasin and DS going side by side here into, I believe, what is turn 11, 12, 13. DS losing the back end quite a bit there. But he does get a nice exit, so does Yasin. Yasin will get DRS on DS. I don't think Yasin will get, or DS will get DRS. No, he's 1.6 seconds in front. So he's really now in a bad comfort. That I can't speak. He's really in a bad position now. As we see, actually, Yasin at the 80% ERS overtake mode. This should be the easiest move of his life. We'll have to see. DS blocks the outside line and it takes the inside line, yes, but no, he does not go for a move, which is really safe there and should have been done in the first place. So we'll go down behind. Not that much action, but Fox and Pendeco, I can never say his name, are really close to each other. So see, yes and DS, that gap getting extended, but now the other battle now is for second place in between Vessel and the Inaudible 9, or the Inaudible Gamer, as they head up into Sector 2, the Corner of Death I like to call it. David all over the back of these guys as well. He has a perfect view of this. Vessel braking much later, almost hitting the back of the Inaudible. We'll get a good run though, heading into the late Sector 2. He will have DRS though. The Inaudible 9 touches the, why do I call it the Inaudible 9? The Inaudible Gamer touches the grass there, loses a bit of time. Actually, we see the Inaudible 9 with barely any ERS compared to the Inaudible Gaming. It should be a pretty easy move there for Vessel, who has DRS, overtake mode, probably rich fuel mix, as they will go side by side to turn 1. That's probably the 7th time I've said that this time. But SOR is forced to leave space there for the raging Williams of Vessel, who wants to keep that second place. But because of all this battling, David is now all over the back of these guys as well. So David might go for Big Boy Sen here and then to turn 1. No, he doesn't. The Inaudible 9, no. Okay, I'm just going to call him the Inaudible 9, okay? That's your nickname, the Inaudible. As they head up into turns Sector 2, or turn Sector 2, don't mind me there. Planning on going side by side, but luckily they didn't, because that would have resulted into a crash. Oh, the Inaudible getting a very poor exit there. Well, it does have DRS though, and the Raging Ferrari wants to get past SOR as soon as possible. He's all over the back of them heading into turns 13. Or not 13, 12. There's actually a yellow flag, and that's probably Panic. That's GC Fungus, who's lost the back end of it, and Impact Cosmin, and that's about it. We'll overtake him for now, but as we go back to the action up ahead, as we see David and the Inaudible really close to each other, and SOR is actually still in that range of DRS. So Vessel now forced to pray that he doesn't get overtaken here, because Vessel is going much slower than the Inaudible, but no, he doesn't do a move. And actually, that's Panacoy in the pit lane. As we see Panacoy on Fox. Will he go for a move? No, he doesn't. But oh no, it wasn't Panacoy. It was DS who goes onto the medium couple tires, and actually there's Panacoy who cuts that corner quite a bit there. But he didn't get an instant penalty. But Eugenio actually, who's on the medium couple of tires, is actually in a good position now, because if these guys fight, he might be able to settle himself for a top 4 position here. David all over the back of these two. There's not really that person who's in the worst situation. They're all within DRS range. It's really Vessel who doesn't have DRS and can't get that gap closed up to P1. Actually, we see Ozone Ruthless, who's quite dominant, actually. They put on pole. Actually, the Inaudible goes really wide there. And that's David losing the back end completely there, but manages to catch it. He might be out of DRS range. He might. No, okay, SORs though. David will still keep DRS. So this is going to be very difficult now for the Inaudible to keep his 3rd position, because he has less DRS. David with with DRS will be able to catch up to the Inaudible really quickly now. So 12 more laps to go of this Spanish Grand Prix. Actually, we see Panacoy, who's overtaken by Fox and Yasin, setting the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, as Impact actually overtakes it, heading into turn 1. It's pretty quiet towards the back. Jason Fungus goes on the EM Cop Out tires. I want to get to the end with that. Actually, we see Fox getting in front of Panacoy. Or really big delay there. Again, David is on DRS mode. He does have DRS available to him. Use that corner quite nicely there. We will go into the stops. Fox has done 3 stops and is still P6. Yep, to leader. That space is almost a lap down. So, we'll see David getting really close to SR. Will he want to do a move on the inside? No, he'll be very cautious. I'd be surprised if he went for a move there on him. Okay, that's for now. That's all we pretty much need. Vessel actually pulling away from this group of cars, as we see SOR trying to get David out of his DRS zone, but he's actually gained quite a bit there from the past few laps thanks to DRS, and also actually SOR loses the back end there quite a bit. We will most likely see SOR gaining on him quite quickly. Actually loses the back end there, heading into turn 10, 11, and 12. Down to turn 13, 14, and a nice 15 right here. Heading into 16. DRS, will he have DRS? Yes, he does. That's actually Cosman on a move on Yasin. We see Yasin still fighting for it. So we'll hang out with the back of these guys. Whoa, that's actually some front wing there going a little bit of a little fly. So Yasin, oh, that's Cosman who cuts that corner quite a bit and does not get a penalty for that. So he's actually gained some time and has not gotten a time penalty from that. That is very questionable, but will he eat that? No, Yasin is gaining quite a bit. Will he go for a big boy set here into turn 1? No, he doesn't, but he does break quite late though. Cosman hitting the slippery curve there of turns 2 and 3. Goes a bit wide there. Yasin all over the back of Cosman. Will he let him by? He goes down the inside. Cosman turns in a tiny bit on him. But Yasin will get a better run ultimately, as they will go side by side down into the first couple of corners of Sector 2. He gets a nice switchback, and will he go side by side into the turn into sector 2? Yes, they will. But Cosman, sorry, leaving him room, because going side by side there would remain death, or would mean death. But however, Cosman now does have DRS, goes wide there quite a bit, and actually has no ERS to play with. And actually, that's a yellow flag of DS, who's actually on a very good strategy and is retiring from this session. It was on a good strategy, I guess, until that spin. So what were we looking at? Oh yeah, camera. So he's now out of DRS, potentially cuts that corner once again. Now hold on. One thing that I'm really skeptical about right now is this. Give me a quick second here. Cosman, exceed track limits. He's not getting any warnings for corner cutting. Has he maybe discovered that you could corner cut that without getting away? We'll have to see if he keeps doing that. But that's actually a yellow flag. A Futuristic who has DNF'd. I don't know where, but he DNF'd. Will we see the virtual safety car or the safety car come out? I have no clue where he DNF'd. The yellow flag still sector 2, sector 3. Yellow flag sector 3. No, there's nothing really that wrong. I don't know what happened here. So everyone is a second actually. Hold on. Yes, it is the closest to anyone in front of them in the field. 6'10". So yes and yeah, all over the back of these 16-lap old hard tires. You probably could get a P6 here. Yes, not a bad race at all. Oh, brakes really late there, and Panakoi corner cutting there as well. We'll see. Yeah, no, Cosman is cutting them corners quite regularly. I'm presuming he's getting those corner cuts and not getting any warning. So that's something that should be mentioned, I presume, in the FIA sort of things. Oh, that's Panakoi actually losing the back end there and corner cutting there quite a bit. Yes, actually, all over the back now. Panakoi because of this, and Impact actually loses his position because he goes into the pits. Panakoi going wide there, actually braking really early, and yes, an out-braking Panakoi, getting a better run down here. Yes, he does. He gets a much better run. Whoa, loses the back end there. Manages to correct it just barely though. Panakoi getting a really slow exit, but that means he will get a quicker launch. So Fox now being able to see this battle behind his, in his rear mirror is actually, that's Panakoi, who goes really wide there. Hassan will get his switchback, somewhat of a move. Braking really late there for both of them. And the AlphaTauri, actually, that's Panakoi who cuts that corner and is actually now really close to Fox. So both, as we see, Panakoi and Cosman abusing that corner cut there glitch, and now might be able to get a move down to Fox. It's him. So now I don't want to be calling people out there, but it's very unsportsmanlike if he's using that strategy every single time. But even a corner cut. Whoa, and we see it goes really wide here. Will you see him go down for a move in the inside? Yes, he does. He goes down for a move in the inside. They touch tires, and that's actually into P7. No, and this actually stays a bit at Panakoi. Yep, into P7 goes Yasin. Up to see if he corner cuts once again. So now Fox will see a raging Ferrari. Alright, I don't know what was that. Please don't mock me, thanks. Behind him, as we see Panakoi losing the back end quite a bit there. He is on 18 lap hards, so I will expect those hard cup-out tires to die off really quickly as we see Yasin and Fox battling out turn 14. We're heading into turn 13, actually, I have to say. Turn 14. It's really late here. We'll have to see Panakoi corner cutting, yes, once again. But he goes into the pits though. Pretty soft up out there. And Yasin should set sail, and it should be a pretty easy move for P6 as we see Fox actually recharging. straight. It shouldn't be that much battle, really. So up ahead, we see Ozone, Ruthful, excuse me, who is dominating up in there in P1. Panakoy, yep, going in the pits, as we saw. GC Fungus, actually P13 is going to be lapped, or has already been lapped, but he's being lapped again. So you will get out the way, I presume, a bit later. So see Fox is now behind them. A soft compound runner is here at the bottom. See the battle for the points, for the singular point between Panakoy and Impact. Both on the fresh, soft compound tires. The Panakoy on the softer compound tires. The softer, soft compound tires. You should see him quite easily there make a move. Down here, he's going into none. He knows he doesn't really need it. That's actually Cosman who gets a penalty for, I presume, the corner cutting there. Didn't get away with it this time. So we see Panakoy Impact heading in to the final set of quarters. Will we see Panakoy corner cutting? Yes, he does. And actually, he overtakes Impact using the glitch. Or not glitch, but I am so confused now, but don't worry, Impact will get the move. We'll hopefully get the move back as we get a really poor Emmer angle. And Panakoy staying around the outside, but we'll get a switchback, I guess. So Panakoy and Cosmo with probably warnings going on in the background, because you shouldn't be doing that too much. See Cosman who didn't get away with it. Panakoy now all over the back of the Impact. Impact wanting to stay ahead for 4 more laps as they will. Okay, no. Hopefully, luckily he did not go there. Cosman and actually Fox and Yasin quite close to each other. Let's see, he's moving quite slowly. Cosman at the back. He will most likely cut this again. Yes, he does. CDRS. Oh, and actually that's Panakoy who gets the move done on Impact, sends the Impact onto the grass, actually. Let's see if Panakoy will go for another corner cut glitch. No, he doesn't. He actually does a good boy move this time. He will get DRS though, Impact, but he doesn't have any ERS to play with. But he still is gaining. He's still in overtake mode. He is saving up fuel as they will go side by side into turn 1. No, they won't. He gets the move done before the corner even started. Whoa, this Panakoy actually with a really good run on Impact. Oh, and they barely touch. They go side by side into turn 3. Not something you want to do too much, but Impact might go for a late lunge. No, he goes for a later lunge, Panakoy. But they might touch going into this turns 6, I believe, or turns 5. Little nudge there. Now Panakoy setting sights on victory. So Impact with no ERS to play with at this point in time. And we see Ozone Ruthless with full, who's 10 seconds now ahead of second place. Pretty dominant race from him. I just got to keep this steady now. So Yasin is 1 lap. What? Is a lap behind Ingenio. I don't know what that means, but he's get back in there. Got a bit of back. Left DRS though. Have to see if he manages to pull something off here. But he has practically zero ERS saved up. He is gaining though, but we'll have to stick back with them after a tiny bit. So the gap between 6th and 5th is big. Fox actually gets a corner cutting penalty for multiple warning. He gets just a penalty. So we will see Fox all over the back of Yasin, even though Yasin is on 11 lap mediums and Fox on 18 lap hard. Managing to nurse these tires quite good here. We'll have to see what happens. We will have DRS heading into turn 1. Actually, second last lap of the Grand Prix. Oh wait, hold on. We should probably check on the mid-map. That's Patagoy. The Toro Rosso Patagoy going quite wide there. Excuse me. And they go quite close. Oh, that's Impact, who spins it on Death Curb. And that will allow Hunter to close up. And I'm pretty sure that's Patagoy or Impact, who is now surely out of the points. He just has to nurse his car through the last couple of quarters. It is his final lap after all. So as we see, no one who's really that close behind except for Fox. Fox is all over the back of GC Fungus now as a GC Fungus gets ghosted through and is lapped. So will we see a last lap battle here? I don't know. I don't know what this one lap thing is. But Ozone, who I thought was in the Williams for some reason, so I was looking for a white dot. So he is on his final lap. It was a pretty good race from him. I don't know if he got the fastest lap. We'll see real quick. Fast lap? No. He does not have the fastest lap, but he does have the second fastest lap with roughly 75 thousandths of a second slower than Yasin is. So we'll see him round up the final couple of quarters. It was a pretty dominant race for him. His last lap in qualifying sadly wasn't shown on stream due to the issues. Managed to get pole position in Spain with a 1 minute 18 point something. Actually, there's a yellow flag, but we won't go to that just about yet. But we see Ruthless now, who's 2 points behind first place, surely enough, will be number 1 in the Grand Championship Constructor. I'm saying a bit of everything, but in the Drivers' Championship, he should be in second place. And we see Vessel taking second place, and then behind him, SOR. But it was a good race for him, so he will get his podium. So David with P4. Yasin comes, not Yasin, Ingenio comes into P5. Yasin running up the final couple of corners now as we speak. Man with the fastest lap of the Grand Prix brings it to the end to get P6, and P7 goes to Fox. Cosmin, who once again cuts the corner, will finish in P8, but that will be under review, I presume, because that was pretty abusive what he did. But Maple manages to cut Cosmin, and Panakoy manages to get he manages to get the fastest lap of the Grand Prix with a quarter cut with a 1:17, so that won't be the case. Probably it will most likely be a Yasin who will get his fastest lap once again. So that's everyone down to this Grand Prix. So now you might get a bit of interviews. We will look at the podium celebrations though, as we see man himself, Ruthless, in P1. So it was a pretty dominant race from him, Ruthful. It was a pretty good race. So your top 3 are Ruthful and Vessel and the inaudible Gamer, with David just finishing behind. So it's a pretty decent race from every single one. We might head on to the interviews now, I guess. Do we have anyone who wants to do an interview? Right, so we got David, who was a pretty good race, so we'll drag him into now. If we can move to. So we have David
Hello.
on the stream for the interview. David, welcome. P4 in the race.
Yeah, quite an uneventful race, but nah, quite boring for me.
Well, you managed to keep it and go into P4. 2 safety cars. It was a pretty good race from you, catching up to the back of, I believe it was Ingenio and Yasin, I believe it was.
Yeah, I think yeah.
Yeah, so it was a pretty dominant race. Can you just talk us through it a bit?
Through the race, well, I don't know what happened the first lap. I started I think P14, and I just went and everything stopped in front of me, brakes all over, and I somehow got through a little hole without any damage and into P6 into the first corner. That was very weird, and then anything from there I just tried to keep up with Williams, with Vessel. He was pretty fast, so it was quite hard. The medium stint was good, but the hard stint was pretty hard to manage. They are very slow on this track, and yeah, quite boring. The safety car came at the perfect time for my pit stop, so that was a plus. And well, my mate Pandekoi got the fastest lap for. He was in MotoGP, I think. So yeah, not in our race.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool.
So as we saw there in turn 1, everyone just crashing each other. That is surprised that everyone behind managed to make it through. So it was good that you made it through.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So the next race, I believe, is Monaco. I'm not too sure.
Yes.
So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I hope I get a good qualifying to start from the front, because Monaco is one of my favorite tracks. I want to start at the front and just go from there. I don't want to have anything with the middle. I think there are going to be a lot of crashes.
Yeah.
I just feel it. But it's going to be, I think, not so boring. I think it's going to be very cool.
We'll hope to see that from you next week. So thank you for joining in the interview lounge.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Best of luck in Monaco, and I will
Thanks.
move you back to general voice chat. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good job, by the way.
Thank you. So now we'll move on to, I believe, Maple, who got P8 in the commentators lounge. Right, so we got Maple in here, who finished P8. It was a pretty good race from you. It was a good strategy. Ultimately spinning out in turn 1, but still managed, or it wasn't turn 1, it was, I think it was turn 1, but it was mostly around that area. But you still managed to catch up and finish P8, so what were your thoughts throughout the race?
Well, at the beginning I was like, yeah, there's a P5 in this easily, with all the people crashing on lap 1 and the 2 safety cars coming out perfectly. And then after the second safety car, Fungus decided to hit me up the S when I was braking early for KK Hunter. And after that I spun again, raging at the fact that he hit me. So yeah,
Well,
I guess I did that for myself.
Well, you know, that happens. But you still managed to get up into P8, so that's pretty good for you. The next race is Monaco, so what are your thoughts on that? Qualifying first, you know, get a top and trying to get the best runs possible. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, first classified the term first, because for me first it's like P3 or something because of WoW, Windy and Truthful. Like they are in a different league. Even Vestal now, who just came back after like a few seasons of missing out. But yeah, last season in Monaco I had some pretty good results, so I would be hoping to remake that kind of.
Yeah, we'll hope to
And
see.
I know that it's kind of a chaotic race, so we would see a lot of safety cars. So I will try to build my strategy around that.
Yeah, definitely. Strategy, your original strategy probably won't be the same after all the safety cars you'll get in Monaco. But thank you for joining in the interview. P8, it was a good finish for you, and good luck in Monaco.
Thank you.
Very well. So now we'll get the man who finished in P3 and work our way up like that. So, commentators lounge. The Inaudible Gamer. So we have Inaudible Gamer, the person who finished P3, podium position for you.
Hello.
Pretty good race from you.
Yeah, I was pretty happy with that.
What was your thoughts going through the race, especially with the 2 safety cars?
Well, initially, because of WoW's start, I think that was the game again, because it's happened many times. I was thinking at the start, well, the car behind was 2 seconds behind me or something like that at the start, which was rubbish for them and great for me. And then the safety car came out, so I was a bit annoyed with that, but oh well, I took it. That was the first safety car. Second safety car was awesome because that was literally, I was in the first sector. I was pitting that lap and then the safety car came out, so that was good.
Right, well, you still managed to get P3 in the end, so that's a good handful of points. We saw you battling with Vessel, but ultimately getting the better of you. But P3, I take that. So are you hoping to take your good, I guess, good traits of podium positions into Monaco?
Yeah, hopefully. I do like Monaco, actually. It's one of my better tracks. Monaco and Singapore are my favourites, so hopefully I can get something done there. But yeah, P3 overall, I'm very happy with that, seeing as I only got 1 podium last season. So yeah, I'll take it.
Well, good race from you today, and all the best in the future of the league. So I will now move you back, and thank you for joining.
Alright, thank you very much.
You're welcome. So our final interview will be with Vessel, who got 2nd place. I will ask if it's either Wessel or Vessel. We'll have to see. So we have the man himself, Vessel, in P2.
Hello.
Welcome to the stream.
How are you?
So P2, you did some good overtaking, especially with the Inaudible Gamer, to get that
Mhm.
P2 finish. What were your thoughts throughout the race, especially with the 2 safety cars, maybe a different change of strategy?
Race was quite chaotic, especially at the start. I don't know if you caught it on stream, but
Yeah, I did definitely.
the guy in 2nd place actually stalled on the grid. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
I was very close to losing my front, but I managed to avoid it, and then I just drove my heart out. Had good pace. No DRS for the first 10 laps. That was quite sad, but managed to overtake Inaudible. So it was quite a good race, especially after not racing for.
Well, it was good from you, P2, starting P4, getting the, I believe it was 3rd or 4th fastest lap of the race. Are you hoping to keep your good traits of podium positions into Monaco?
Oh, Monaco is next.
Yes.
I don't know if that will be a good result. Just hoping to finish there. That's my goal. I think for most people. If you finish, you should be on for a good result, to be honest.
Yeah. So it was a good
Were
race.
there a lot of
Oh, go on.
were there a lot of overtakes from everyone? Was it exciting to watch for you?
Yeah. So it was a good race from you today. All the best, man, for Monaco and the rest of the season, considering you just it was your first race of the season, I believe. So all the best. Thank you for joining, and I'll see you
Yeah,
around.
thanks.
So that's all of the interviews we'll get today. Thank you to everyone for tuning into the stream. It was a fun race. It was a fun Spanish Grand Prix. And I'll see you all next time in Monaco. Goodbye.